Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. You know, in some ways, this episode was just like yesterday's episode. Um, Particularly with Taylor and Steffi trying to convince Taylor not to go and throw yourself at the mercy of the court or whatever. Turn yourself in because at the end of the day, Bill still has that judge in his pockets, and who knows how many other connections that he has. But it's like yesterday, it seemed like Steffi was getting through to Taylor, and then today, it's like a 5 minute rant before Taylor realizes that Steffi's right. So she's like, all right, fine. She's like, all right, you know what? Listen, I gotta go and do something. So she leaves, and like 2 minutes later, Steffi's like, oh, most likely she's at Bill's place. And Finn is like, no, no, no. She might be sitting there seeing a patient. She just said she had to just randomly leave after she just got some upsetting news. And you say she's just going to go and see a patient. So apparently on their phones or whatever, they have like an app tracker or whatever, but she blocked her location. She goes to Bill's place. Now, I'm going to be honest, there's nothing really that happens with Sheila and Bill before she gets there. They're just reminiscing about the same thing. That happened yesterday, just the consequences of his actions and how he's going to practically push everyone that he loves away for a nut job. So, Taylor gets over there and she starts trying to reason with this man. At first, she's like, I can't believe that you would let out a psychopath like this. She's just going on and on and on and on, right? Sheila comes down there and she was like, hey, what's up? What's good? I'm sitting there thinking, Taylor, you can't reason with somebody who is a nut job at this point. And it's amazing too because she's supposed to be this world renowned psychiatrist, therapist, or whatever. And I'm just like, seeing how she thought that Thomas was fine, it's it's making me, question her work at this point. It really is. She's supposed to be the world, she's like really top psychiatrist. And then you have your son right there. So of course when she sits there and tries to talk sense into a guy who let's just say is warped in reality, it is pretty laughable to watch. On top of that, this theme music that Bill and Sheila got going on, it is just hilarious. Sometimes with these shows, with these four shows, or particularly, the other shows, it's nice to sit there and kind of get away from the seriousness sometimes. Just, because in this show, it's like, it's so cartoonish. It's so cartoonish. Everything is just extremely over the top. It's just overacting, like the stuff that. Here's the thing: people sit there and talk about Finn and his acting, but I'm like, Steffi, she has her moments where she can shine, but then she has those moments where it's like her face is over exaggerated. She's like, she has a bunch of cringeworthy lines. It's all over the top and all over the place. Like when Sheila first got free and she's sitting there hugging her and her eyes go like bulging out and everything like that. And I'm just like, does anyone actually take this seriously anymore? Because I can't imagine one person is just like, oh man, this is intense. This is, I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm glued to my seat. Or I'll just sit there just chuckling and laughing and having some wine and just being like, yeah, this is what I come to expect. Steffi gets there, and I'm just like, Steffi, what was you going to do? There's a point where Taylor says something along the lines of, I can't let you do this, or I won't allow this, or something like that. And I'm just like, I can see where Steffi got her bossy behavior, but What are you gonna do? What are you gonna sit there and do to stop this man? Now, people in the comment section was telling me if they can sit there and somehow convince Bill, Justin, one of Bill's, I guess, old friends or whatever, business partners, to flip on him, then they might have a chance. But I wouldn't hold your breath on that. Meanwhile, you got Brooke. I was about to call her Brooklyn. You got Brooke and Katie that is just in disbelief for like a good 5 to 7 minutes. They're shocked. They're like, how could she possibly go free? You know, what happened to her testimony, this, that, and the third, and they're just literally befuddled. So Katie and Carter go to talk to Steffi. You know, try to put out some sort of press release or whatever. And he goes there as a lawyer because for some odd reason he needed to be there. But they get there and it's just been. Now, first I was like, when Stephanie left, I was like, aren't you gonna sit there and follow? Aren't you gonna sit there and follow her? But then I was thinking, you know what? Sheila's on the loose. Yes, it's better that one parent stands guard at the very least. Now the question is, what's gonna happen? What are your thoughts are that's gonna happen when Deacon gets back? It's gonna be some sort of love triangle or something like that. Like what is gonna wind up happening? That's gonna be a very defining moment. Now, I mean, it's gonna be one of the defining moments. Of course, you know, Deacon getting found out that he was hiding Sheila the whole time. That's going to be an epic moment. That deserves like some sort of their own little cake moment or something like that. You know. Um, Actually, I do have cake, but that's for General Hospital now. I can't really think of anything else that happened in this episode. I mean, again, it's just Steffi Snitty trying to convince Taylor for a good 5 minutes to not say anything. Um, and all the reminiscing or, you know, just going over everything that happened with Sheila and how she got, how she got free and everything like that. And now the real fallout is going to be, oh, Katie found out that Bill was responsible for getting Sheila released. So that's going to be an epic moment right there in the South. Because the whole time she was sitting there praising him, oh, you're a hero, this, that, and the third. And even Carter was like, well, I got to sit there and tip my hat to the guy, you know. You really pulled through. So now, then of course you got Wyatt and Liam. But you know what? In some ways, now I'm sitting there thinking about this, they really shouldn't be that surprised. I mean, every time he wears a sword necklace, anything and everything can happen with Bill. You know, he literally goes to the dark side. So this really shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, come on. He went to the dark side, but somehow he snipped there like, hey, I'm going to sit there and play a hero. Yeah, I think they should have kind of knew that was coming. Also, before I go, I want to sit there and just talk about how laughable it was that Taylor apologized to Bill. And I'm just like, really? You shot this man in the back, left him for dead. This was years ago. And now, hey, I just want to sit there and apologize for shooting you in the back. So you're gonna escort her back to jail now? You gonna let the psychopath go? I just, sometimes I feel like I may not be meant to actually fully get the scope of this show. And yeah, I know that the show made a lot more sense back then. We can all sit there and talk about how a lot of the soap operas made more sense back then. But we don't have a time machine. So this is pretty much what it is. So, my question is, what makes you still watch the show? What makes you still watch this show? Let me know in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.